broken until the US Navy broke it during the Guppy program in the 1970s. That's how amazing this technology was. Here's some guys, some holding a board, playing their accordions. These are all old photos I was able to get from Germany. These are all taken by crew members. They even went swimming when they could. You guys doing the high dive there. And somebody, like my kid, said, well, Dad, where does they don't know how to swim? So, giving swimming lessons out at sea. This guy in the Navy didn't know how to swim, so they were literally teaching him. And that they were teaching him exactly what to do. I mean, it looks like a frog kick in a cave diving, right? I mean, that's exactly what it is. I just thought it was a cool photo. So here's some photos of the First War Patrol, and these are all taken in the conning tower. We'll talk about all these features here in a couple minutes when I start showing you some underwater footage. This is the best I can do with the Indiana Jones thing, right? When the guy flies the plane across. It took me like 3 hours to do this. So as you see, the First War Patrol, right? They leave Germany, they go on and up, and their hunting grounds were off of Ireland, the North Irish Sea, and that's where they were going to hunt. And you can see how close they got right on the far left versus Ireland. U-1105 goes undetected from when it leaves Germany all the way until it gets to Ireland. It literally surfaces off the coast, and they were so close to shore, they can read advertisements on billboards and they can read people's license plates. And U-1105 was undetected. Absolutely amazing. U-1105 submerges, and they come across this. This is the Red Mill. The Red Mill and two other ships knew that there was a U-boat that was going to be hunting in their waters, so they were going to go out there and deliver some mines. And they heard sonar blip. They go to general quarters, and it wasn't a U-boat, it was actually a torpedo that Schwartz fired at them. And amazingly, Schwartz hit the stern. 32 sailors died. The ship did not sink. And the two other ships came together, and they held it together, and they towed it in to Scotland. Schwartz fired a second torpedo and immediately submerged. And he heard an explosion, and it turns out that the second torpedo did not hit any of the British ships. The explosion that he heard was the last explosion of all of the depth charges on the aft end of the Red Mill exploding with their guys in the water. Schwartz goes down to try to get away from these guys. He says, hey, I'm gonna go down to 300 feet. He ends up bottoming out at 570 feet. He hits bottom, where they remained for a remarkable 30 hours. There was over 299 depth charges dropped on them.
That's over here on the side.
And 30 hours later, they popped the surface and nothing ever happened.
That's right.
A couple days after, of course, I forgot the English translation of this. I always have my little idiot sheet, and I forgot the English translation of this. So if you know German, great. If not, I guess you're in trouble. When they pop to the surface, they're on the surface for 2 days, and then they get this transmitted to them. And this is from the Gross Admiral Donitz, and he's just announcing their surrender. If anybody wants these, I'm happy to send them to you. I don't really keep my research. These are the actual 4-page documents that were sent to Donitz that needed to be transmitted to every single U-boat. These are the actual surrender orders that were given out at the time of the surrender. Here's 1105 in Loch Erill, Scotland. U-1105 didn't know it at the time, neither did Red Mill, but the same group that U-1105 attacked a few days earlier, they surrendered to the same group. And they were under escort. This is a painting that I was able to get from Canada. So you can see on the guy's brown jackets, RCNs from Royal Canadian Navy. But this was a painting of all the U-boats, and this one is 1105, getting into Loch Erill, Scotland. So the British have it. British know that this is a very unique U-boat, because of the Falcone, because of the snorkel, because of the Albrecht, and because of all the other things. The US wanted this U-boat, the Canadians wanted this U-boat, and the Soviets wanted this U-boat. So through diplomatic channels, it was agreed, well, the British said, well, we captured it, so we're keeping it. So they ended up keeping it, and this is in England, and they started literally going through and gutting everything they possibly can. They want to learn as much as they possibly can. All these studies that they learned of the Albrecht, still classified to this day. The US did not want the Soviets to get this. So what they said was, hey, when you're done with it, we will send a crew to England. Our US Navy is gonna sail this across, and we're gonna do testing on the Albrecht and the snorkel. The US already had panels of Albrecht that they took off of this U-boat. They were able to get it for the UK government. They already had snorkel. But they told everybody else that they were gonna do it for snorkel testing.